What's up, this is Ryan Glisan from MIRE, and this is another Riffopsy. If you're not familiar with what a Riffopsy is where we take some of our favorite MIRE tracks, break down how to play them, and give a little bit of insight on how it was that we constructed the parts. In this video, I'm going to be going over the intro clean guitars and the verse heavy guitars for our new single, A Newfound Rain. Alright, so let's get into this clean intro. I'm going to play the notes without letting them ring out so you can really hear each note individually. The A string is just open. D string, 7th fret. G string, 5th fret. B string, 6th fret. And then the E string is open. So you're just going to play just down and back. Now the second variation, that plays through twice. The second variation, all you're going to do is lift your middle finger. So that B string that you play the first time through on the 6th fret, you're just going to lift your middle finger up and it's just going to be an open note. So it's going to go like this. So playing it with the notes ringing out sounds like. Cool, so that's pretty much it. Relatively simple. Once you have your fingers in place for the first chord, you really don't have to move them. You're lifting your middle finger. And that kind of lays the groundwork for what the verse rhythm riffs are, which I'll go into here in a second. Something else that I think is worth noting with this song, but it's something else that I try to add into most every other song that I write, is the use of themes, or what I call themes in songwriting. The theme for this song in particular, I feel like is pretty evident. It's these intro chords, but what I did, obviously, I think they play through the song 3 different times. They play in the intro, they play as like a transition kind of bridge period in the song, and then they play at the very end before there's like a little outro. And so those clean chords act to me as like a theme, and a theme is just like a theme in any other story or movie or TV show. It's just like something that shows commonality that can like bring back either like a feeling or like a point that is trying to be made in a story, or in this case, in this song. So how I tried to further the theme even more was to leverage those chords in the verses, right? So obviously the intro and the verses don't really sound anything alike, because the intro is like very clean and like kind of has like a little bit more of a dramatic and epic vibe, and the verse is just really heavy. But I wanted to take aspects of those clean chords and integrate them into the verse. So that's basically what I did. So those kind of like high notes you hear in between the chugs are a variation of those intro chords. So I will go over the verse part now, but I just felt like it was worth noting that I feel like it's a really important thing, at least for what we're trying to do. And again, I don't do it in every single song, but I really like employing the use of themes, or if you just want to call it hooks or memorable parts. And that doesn't always necessarily mean it has to be you know, like an intro guitar hook or a like chorus singy melody. Themes might be weird noises. It might be like some songs that you'll hear later, use of like percussion. I just like am a big fan of, as I've gotten older, it's just like, what other things can I do on a guitar or in the context of a song that's just different, you know? Like, so literally like making a noise on a guitar, how can I make some noise on a guitar that is a rhythmic thing, or something that just like is a memorable part to the song that then I can repeat, and as it repeats, maybe it changes and maybe it helps build things up throughout the song, but it always brings the listener back to like a certain feeling that they had the first time they heard it. So it's just a thing that I'm a big fan of. That I feel like is the theme to this song. So let's go ahead and dive into how to play these verse riffs. And actually what I'm going to do is show you how to play it by just showing the finger positions with a clean tone first, because I feel like it's just going to be easier to comprehend. And this can get a little bit tricky. So really all I want you to do is do kind of what I suggested for the clean part at the beginning, which is go ahead and just get your hand in that position and basically try to move your left hand as little as possible. It'll just, because if you're trying to like make big movements every time, you're gonna have to like reposition your hand every time, and it's just gonna get tricky. So go ahead and get your fingers in the same position that I showed you earlier, and that would make this chord, right? So obviously we're doing like kind of a thing, but I'll just walk you through the progression first, and then we can backtrack and show how to do it the way I'm actually playing it in the song. So the first grouping of notes is going to be the same that we started with at the beginning. So those three, right, as the main fretted notes. To play the second variation, all I want you to do is take this index finger and just slide it down a half step. So instead of having it sound like this, it's going to sound like this. Right? So right? Okay, so the next variation, you're going to go from there, you're going to slide that index finger back up to where it was, so back up a half step. And then remember that second variation in the clean part at the beginning where you lifted your middle finger off the B string? We're going to go back to that. So it's going to be these notes. So it's going to go from, and now we're 3/4 of the way through. So the next variation is you have this middle finger lifted already. All you're gonna do is take this index finger and just bar the rest of the notes on the fretboard. So I'm just gonna play this progression without any like the chugs in between. So it's just, so again, as little as you can possibly move these fingers, the easier it's going to be. Because if you're trying to go like boom, and then you lift it, and then you got to try to get there, it's just going to like overly complicate it. So just to play through it, it's clean so you can hear it. Cool, so that's pretty much it. The last thing I just wanted to bring up is actually talk about this guitar for a brief second, which is a 7-string PRS Mark Holcomb signature model, which the folks over at Sweetwater were kind enough to hook me up with to use for upcoming MIRE songs, recordings, and to do some of these videos for you guys. So I'm super, super excited about it. The pickups, I believe, are Mark Holcomb's signature model, Alpha and Omega pickups, which sound super, super heavy, but also sound great, clean. And if you're interested in this guitar, if you want to check it out, you can actually go to the link in our description. And we have a MIRE store now on sweetwater.com, which we're super excited about to be partnered with those guys. Because we're going to be, I think, doing some pretty cool little projects and partnerships coming up here soon. So I just wanted to bring it up, talk about this guitar. I like it a lot so far and really excited to be using it for some future songs. So you guys should go check out our store. And if you liked this video, we're planning on doing a bunch more. So please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and so you get notifications for when we put out new instructions or music videos or any of the other fun things we've got planned for you guys. So if you have any other parts of our songs that you guys would like us to break down or talk about, how we write stuff, how we come up with solos, how to play things, go ahead and just throw something down in the comment, and we'll look through those, and we talk to you guys down there. So that gives us an idea of what things you would like us to be doing in the future. So if you're interested in learning this entire song, we've actually got tabs for the entire thing, all the guitar riffs, all the solos and everything at our MIRE website, and you'll find the link to that in the description below. Watch the clouds